This is John Kirby. And John Kirby, you know that name because he definitely was at the microphone over the years as the senior spokesman for the Pentagon, State Department, and of course the White House. He's also a retired Rear Admiral in the U.S. Navy and now has been appointed director of the University of Chicago's Institute of Politics. That is effective November 15th. Mr. Kirby, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't tell you how excited I am.
So listen, you have had really the tough job of speaking at the podium. I've seen you over the years speaking at the podium about some really tough issues that have involved all of us here in America. Let's talk about this new job that you're doing and what makes it different from other jobs that you've had in the past.
I think it's the most unique opportunity I've ever been given in my professional life, and I'm just so thrilled about it. Can't wait to get started. Mostly, I just can't wait to be around students. I did a little teaching at Georgetown a few years ago, and I loved every minute of that, just being on campus and being around students. They're so bright. They're so energetic. They have such incredible futures ahead of them. And just the mere thought that I can be a part of all that, maybe helping folks find ways to serve in the public sector or even just become better citizens is a real thrill, particularly now with the country so divided as it is. So mostly I'm just thrilled to get back on campus. The second thing is the University of Chicago is a real crown jewel. I mean, I never lived in the Midwest. I never lived in Chicago, but I knew well, even growing up, how special this place was in terms of its advocacy of free expression and free speech and intellectual rigor. So again, all of that just makes me so excited.
So I know you're from Florida. You have two grown children with your wife, Donna. One thing I can tell you as a Chicagoan through and through, you need to go get you a down coat before you get here. So make sure you invest in that, get you a hat and some gloves and probably some heated pads to go in those shoes as well. In terms of coming to Chicago, have you decided on, the place to live? What do you like about Chicago? Is there a favorite restaurant that you have?
I won't go so far as the restaurant thing, but my wife and I, we were just in Chicago the last 2 days, and we picked up the keys to an apartment. It's right there on Michigan Avenue with a terrific view of the lake and the parks. We want it to be close. We want it to be, it's in the Loop, and we want it to be there in downtown Chicago. Well, one of the things I really am looking forward to about this job is just experiencing all that is Chicago. It is an incredibly beautiful city. I had no real experience with it until I got into the application process for this job. And of course, that required me to come out there for a few visits. And every time I went out there, my wife and I, we were just so thrilled about the prospect of living there. There's so much culture, so much great architecture, so much history. And the park system is just second to none. I've never seen anything like it. You don't even feel, I'm telling you, like you need to hear.
It's okay. I'm listening.
You don't even feel sometimes like you're in a big city, if that makes any sense.
It does.
So the trees, the parks, the running paths, the fountains. I mean, it's almost like you're in nature as well as being in the city. It's just incredible.
I can hear your excitement and I see it in your face as well. That is true about Chicago. For a lot of us that have been here for a good portion of our lives, grew up here, it feels almost like a town feel. Since you are going to be on Michigan Avenue, that's pretty much where our studio is located off of Michigan and Lake. You got to stop by here and come see us. But in the meantime, I want to ask you about this. You said something that I thought was very profound when you first started talking, and you talked about the division in this country. Some of us feel like we've never seen anything like this before. What do you feel like in terms of your experience? Because you've seen a lot in your time in service. What do you feel like your experience will bring to the generation that you will have the opportunity to touch that maybe they haven't experienced or seen before?
I hope I can bring a little bit of my own practice and experience in national security specifically. I won't claim to be, an expert on all realms of political behavior and conduct in this country, far from it. But I do think I have a good, strong rooting in national security and how national security and politics intersect, because they do. So I'm looking forward to sort of maybe bringing that to the program. Although the Institute of Politics program is just incredible in terms of how wide-ranging it is and how inclusive it is. So I do hope, though, that maybe we can talk a little bit more about national security.
Here's a question for you. Is it more difficult to go and face the press when some of these crazy things are happening across our world? Or is it tougher to walk into a room full of college students?
I'm going to guess the latter than the former, because I know just from my brief experience, I've had some exposure to the IOP and some of the students, but not a whole lot. But just in my brief experience with them, they are incredibly smart, talented, energetic. They're thoughtful. They're more engaged than I know I was when I was in college. And so, yeah, I'm a little. That's a little intimidating, but it's also really exciting for me. And I know, I know I can say this for a fact. I will be inspired by them. I will be informed by them. I will be educated by them much more than I fear I can give them in return.
I know you worked with the Obama administration, obviously Chicago, home to Barack and Michelle Obama. I don't know if you guys still talk, but have you had any conversations or any talks with maybe anyone from the Obama administration about the city of Chicago and you coming here?
Well, certainly Mr. Axelrod, as you know, he founded the Institute of Politics, and he was right at President Obama's side. And he has just been, as he has even before this job became an option for me, he's just been a great mentor and a friend, and certainly since then he has been right by my side and in helping me navigate the process and getting prepared for this job. He's been just great. I don't know the Obamas personally, although I've had the privilege and the honor of meeting both of them on one occasion. But I'm very excited to just be a part of Chicago. Chicago just, there's a muscularity and all the good sense of that word. I mean, a bigness, a strongness, an effervescence about the city that has already infected my wife and I, and we're just so excited to get out there.
The city of big shoulders. Okay, we're going to play a little game. I know you weren't prepared for this, and neither were I, but I just got prepared for it. Okay, so deep dish pizza or thin crust? I got to ask.
I gotta go with thin crust only because, and I know I may get flack for this, I've never had a real Chicago deep dish pizza, so I have nothing to compare it to.
It's a restaurant right here, Giordano's. I'm looking at it right off Michigan and Lake. You got to get there. Okay, lakefront.
Giordano's, got it.
Lakefront in the summertime, because I'm guessing you visited sometime in the summer, or do you think downtown at Christmas time? I know you haven't been here for Christmas yet, but if you had to pick. I've
heard Christmas time is just spectacular in Chicago, and I can't wait to see what the city does for the holidays. I got to go with the Lakeshore summertime. When I started my interview process, it was sort of early September, so I got to go out there when the weather was sparkling and bright and shiny. And I'm a Florida boy, so I love beaches. I love the water, so I'm going to have to lean towards Lakeshore in the summer.
Okay, that's fair. Cubs at Wrigley or Sox at guaranteed rate?
That is not a fair question.
Yes, it is. It's fair.
I grew up in Tampa Bay, so I'm a Tampa Bay Rays fan and a Bucks fan. I haven't made a decision yet on Chicago baseball. I'll tell you one thing, though. We were just there, as I said, a couple of days ago, and the Bears were playing at home, of course.
Yes.
And had a good game against the Saints. And I saw all the Bears fans walking down the sidewalk and had a chance to interact with a few of them. They're great fans. They're so excited about the team. And I love the sports traditions of Chicago. It is a sports town, and I love sports, so I'm really looking forward to being a part of all that.
Okay, I got one more for you. Italian beef. They call it wet. That means when you dip it in all the juices. Or Chicago hot dog. You can't have ketchup on it. Which one? Italian beef or the Chicago hot dog?
I'm going to go with the hot dog. It sounds a little simpler to me, and I kind of like simple food.
I feel like you're my kind of guy, Mr. Kirby. I do. I feel like we would be good friends. All right. Any final words before we let you go? It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you this afternoon.
Oh, it's been my pleasure too. I can't tell you, just honestly, I'll say it again, how excited I am to start this new job at such a world-class institution as the University of Chicago, with a truly global reputation for excellence. And then, of course, the Institute of Politics, which is the crown jewel in this country for a place where dialogue and discussion and debate can be done in a civil way. And I think that's so desperately needed right now in this country. And I just can't wait to be a part of it. Likewise, I can't wait to just be a Chicagoan. I can't wait to actually live in the city and feel it and really be a part of it.